Good morning. It is 0700 hours, 53 minutes, Monday, January 28th, 2019. I have the three lives set up. Probably not going to be on that day because I don't know. For some reason, I checked the settings. I talked to YouTube. I set to do lives at certain times, and the time never comes up the proper way. So, excuse me. And it's no way you can like have the live set up in the reminder area. I'm gonna some reason I can't put the time down in there. I have to put it in there. So I'm gonna start doing it that way when I do the times and then put in so check the descriptions without and I titled this one We Give Homage to the Bad and Why We Do It. And all I'm learning so far a lot of things we do are religious. It's no it's nothing else in this world. So far I have learned have everything we do have something to do with religion. We cannot. It's called Christianization. Christianization. You have to really study the the language, the translation of everything we're doing. And every time I mention this to people, they keep telling me everything not about religion. Yes, everything is about religion. Everything we do is about religion. There's nothing that we don't do that's not about religion. Think about it. Why do you how when you say now for me when I say good and bad, I don't go by the standard good and bad because we gotta remember who wrote what was good and bad to us. Think about it. If you have no, let's say our spirituality is blocked. We don't have any spirituality. So I'm going to say this. That's the truth. If unless only way your spirituality have came back to you, if you really got to know who you are. If you call yourself unworthy, if you're calling yourself not perfect, you have no idea what you're saying. But tell me you do math. Tell me you know the equation. Tell me you learned how to put a car together. Telling me you learned how to write a composition. Tell me you wrote a movie. Tell me you wrote a book. But then in the same line, you telling me you're not perfect. Tell me that you're not out there destroying the earth, but you're telling me you're not perfect. Telling me you're very good at math and you know how to solve equations and you're a problem solver, but then you keep telling me you're not perfect. And that's the line I had to understand is we are under a spell. These is part of the spells and curses. What make you not perfect? Perfect. The only definition of the word perfect is not my meaning. I had a discussion with because I was going to do this live, and it's funny how before I did it, we talked about our conversation. I don't even make she's drawing because she talk about everything, but on the lines of how she say it draws to a piece that I know she's listening and then she's not listening. She's doing more hearing me than listening. And I'm doing a lot of I'm listening with her. I am hearing exactly what she's telling me. That's what because I used to be her. I was not I'm not how do I contradict my soul of who I am and say I'm not worthy, but I'm worthy? I say I'm not that great, but I'm greater than what we seen. We got to think about how much greater people laid their lives down, and I had to, and people really don't understand history. Really, yes, it's his story. We understand it's their story, but that story is very important. If you're going to talk about why can't you change and you don't know history, well, if you don't know what happened to you or you try not to remember what happened to you at 10, 11, or 12, you won't get a better you. Because before that happened, you was enjoying life. But then some tragedy happened. I don't know your tragedy, but all tragedy pretty much destroy our who we are. But it's up for us to uphold it. But if we always go to seek for a higher power, which all the creator said, the almighty of the world, the creator of all of us, the deities, the entities of all of us said, you're going to be greater than me. And then we saying we're not worthy. I got flaws and imperfections. Who told you there was flaws and imperfections? The world. But the world is the same people that destroyed the land to take the land, then tell you what you should and shouldn't be doing. Think about that. We're giving homage to the evil. Why? Why are we giving homage? Why would I listen to a man that's beating his wife? We got to start understanding what we're really giving. And if you think about all the biblical homages we give honor and praise and glory to, one man was setting men up to sleep with his wife, calling him. Think, put your mind into this. Let's think. Let's go over some biblical understanding, and let's go over the world system of how we are giving homage to the people that done wrong, and then tell you there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. Dave Chappelle said that. He been said that. I said that. And it was just, I love it when it's profound by another person that, and then we try to say, well, they changed, they cloned him and made a new one. No, they didn't. No, they should, what they go through is a contract. They have to. Dave Chappelle, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, Drake, they have to follow the contract. Serena Williams have to follow the contract. They're signed to a contract. It's nothing about blood written. It's a contract that when you make money over a certain millions of dollars, there's a contract you have to follow. Their life is the thing why we call it selling their soul. You can't sell your soul. Your soul is the essence and the making of you. You let them borrow you. That's why they're signed there. That's what the contract. We are borrowing who you are. Just borrow you, and they're gonna give you. You're gonna sign on that line. You can use my name. You can tell me what to do and tell me what to say. That's the contract they sign. I don't know about all this. They don't sign blood, and as they tell you, if you listen to them, they say it's different levels. When you seen the Britney Spears shaving her hair, all going crazy because she was doing crazy things. In her mind, as a young child, whatever happened to her, she started thinking about them again. She seen how horrible they were. Now the level she went to, and since we want to talk about this, the African descendant men, all the men that they publicizing, they're mass feeding us this sex trafficking and all this rape and everything. Let's talk about Walt Disney too. Let's talk about Disney with these Disney children. ABC fan. What you think these parents, the Olsen twins? Let's talk about them too. I'm not saying I'm not down for no Euro people or Caucasus or the Caucasoid people race, but let's talk about that race. Those are the people that's residing over the land that told us we're slaves. They came together. We're the only race that don't have a home. Africa is not our home anymore. I had a African person that they like, that's like the true African. They're like, that's not our home. We have certain spaces. And just as they came with religion first before slavery, they came with a word. We're not even gonna call it religion, we're gonna call it literature or the word. They came with words to us. Talk about of higher empowerment, and we already had that power. We allowed the wrong people to give us right. Think about that. How can somebody that's out there doing wrong say any right to you, any good? We always want to give them I'm going to give you the benefit I'm making an excuse, but I'm going to never say what you want me to say. If you say, well, a man that don't stand for something fall for anything, but what are they really standing for? You telling me, so going back, you telling me a man named Abraham was letting men have sex with his wife, knowing that was wrong. All the things you can think about, what is the unionize of marriage, the matrimony, the mother part, her side. She was deterring the mother part. So her kindness was gone and her caring. Her nurturing was gone. She couldn't nurture no man. because she was in the ball of lies. She was in a lake of lies. She was in fire. She was putting men in fire for their own. And you telling me we give homage to that? A man was out there raping women and children. All these people, you can name any biblical person, even the Muhammad, even the Buddha, the Buddhism, Judaism. All these people did all these evils, and we give so much homage to. But if Tupac talks, we don't listen to Tupac. He under the same thing they was under, but we don't give homage to Tupac. Certain people do. I give even KRS-One. I give them their due respects, but I'm not gonna forget what they did. Tupac was out there. I get around, round and round. That part we gonna bring up more because he's African descent man. Now, if he was a Caucasus man, he can be Ben Roethlisberger and rape a woman. We not gonna talk about it. See how we do that? So until we come to an understanding, we got to stop giving homage to evil. We gave homage to evil, and then when they said we want to talk about Democrat Party. The Democrat Party started in the 1800s. The Republic Party, if you look at Star Wars, the old Knights of the Old Republic. Think about that. That always been around. That's not some movie. That's real. I actually had to look that up. Like, wow, the Knights of the Old Republic is real. These are real things in these movies, and people are making movies after, or they getting in detail about what was happening. And see, we got to understand what was happening at that time. At that time, the evil was ruling the earth. That's what happened. When the evil started taking over the earth, what did good people do? We stopped fighting. We got comfortable because now we allow evil to meet our needs. So we allow religions to meet our needs. Religion don't never work. All I got to do is tell you to be high in spirit. And once you high in spirit, everything will start working out. That's called manifestation. That's called he already gave it. You already have it. You already have it. You just have to activate, access it, and apply it. And once you apply it, whatever you're believing and trusting in is going to work. If you want to say, I want to become a millionaire, once you apply all the things that they told you to apply, you're going to work. You're going to be a millionaire. And then there's going to be some cases where you only can see the million. You can become a millionaire, but only make only nine. Just say you make 800,000 a year. Well, your gross income could be $1 million, but you got to pay things off. You got to pay people because they are working for you and they're working with you. So, and if you look at that, the money way. Now let's think about that in a spirituality. You can be good, but guess what you're telling yourself? You're saying you're not perfect. As I started off, you're not perfect. You are perfect. Every person in this world is perfect. The only meaning of the word perfect is to be made whole. Whole, that's it. From the bottom of your feet to the top of your head, you are a whole person. Some people are born lame. Lame is when you have your extremities, one of your limbs on your body might be a little disfigured. But they say you are lame because that's what you think you are. But they're still whole people as well. Even if you're born with no legs, you're still a whole person. You're born as you are. And the reason you was born lame, because we took on the nature of the evil. Think about it. Name some good people. And then when you start naming them, I guarantee you the first thing we are taught to do is to be negative. So you're going to start naming all the negative things. Think about that. That's why you have to unconform. We had to be uniformity to conform. They needed us to be uniform, unified together to conform. If we're not unified together, we will not conform together. So as we go about our day, our life, and the children, and another revelation that came to me is transgenerational, transcendent. This is an example of, I had to explain to people what is transcendent. Transcendent it's this one lady, I was watching this HBO show. She was a sex worker, and she worked at the Nevada dollhouse. It's legal. Sex working is legal in Nevada, Omaha, Nebraska, Nevada. They're legalizing sex. So in a minute, they're about to start legalizing 13-year-olds with 35-year-old men and 35-year-old. They already did it with women. Women don't get the punishment a man would get. I'll keep talking to men, and we keep talking about how they was basically the same as the young woman. This You're 13. Your sexuality is not even fully developed. It's hypergamy or hyperalized because of the movies, the TV shows, everything's presented, even the people you are around. It's hyperized because now your mind is about sex. So at 13, you don't know you know what sex is, but you're still not mature. Now you're not mature until you're ready. But by 13, you're definitely not ready because if you're a young lady, you probably just started your period at 11 or 10. That's not ready. You still trying to understand the period, what works and don't work for her. Matureness, knowing when you are mature, this is all maturity. Maturity is knowing what works for you and what don't work for you. And a lot of people and no children I ever met in my whole life and never will. Even the babies are smarter. They're being transcendent, but they're still not mature. So this lady is 5 generation of sex workers. Her grandmother, her grandmother, mother, and her grandmother, mother. So her grandmother, mother, her grandmother, mother, her grandmother, her mother, now her. She just had a daughter, and that was about 2 years ago. This came on, or so, or maybe a little longer, and she was the 6th generation. That is, if we go generation, each generation we can say on an average person, we gonna use the average, even though the average change is 30 or 40 years old when the person have a child. So that's say that 6 generations is 200. We're gonna say this is gonna make it an even number. 200 years. So 200 years of family sex work. Now, this is how it become transcendent. You know how you say he's a natural? Because now her daughter have a chance. She has a chance to break the cycle. And people disagree with me on this. I don't care because our mind is more spiritual. More people are doing what you want to call it. World or no, I don't call it worldly or secular. More physical based realities. I'm doing the spiritual based realities. This is spiritual because we are breeding it and we're nurturing it. And so we are breeding and we are bringing them into this atmosphere. So that's what iniquity is. It's areas of this earth that we have nothing to do with. So the next sevens, if their daughter have a child, that child will be a transcendent child. Transcendent will be this child will already be groomed, nurtured, breeded, fostered, and taught, trained to be a sex worker. Because now she's going to live the life from the baby. Because the lady daughter living the life. Now this is why we see people now. People going to disagree with me. Babies are born gay. Now, after if we keep allowing homosexuality in the spirit, that's a transgenerational. It's spiritual. It has nothing to do with physical anymore. Because we are exciting it. We are making it solid. We are piecing it together. We're completing the puzzle. That's how you, if I want to can put it any way, we're completing the puzzle to our spirituality because we have none right now. Our spirituality is dead. So that's why the law versus the spirit, the law should lose. But transcendent, that's why we have to follow the law because we lost the spirit. If we knew the spirit, somebody can tell you things that's wrong. And before, you can sit a child and tell them, you don't have to tell a child right from wrong. Now you actually have to guide and challenge a child with right and wrong. I watched it. I watched the babies now to so many years ago. It transcended within a short time frame because it's hyperalizing it. They putting it in the movies, the TV. Now they learn it. I can put things in the food, things in our food that can. They know if they put a little bit of trace trace acetylene, or however you pronounce it, that's mercury in your food, then now if that's supposed to be if that's supposed to attack the man seed of the emotion part of the child, they know to put that in our Chips Ahoy. That's an example because that's what they're doing. You can read everything I'm talking about. That's the funny part, is all spiritual, but you can actually read about it. So don't think I'm just talking the talk. Think about it. We are just following the ways that they already implanted. That's another word. They implanted this into us, so they changed the man seed. And you can Google this. A British couple had the first white baby. Black. They have no background. They are African descent, full of mother, father, grand. If you go back long enough, if they went through 7 generations without a white baby and they had a white family member, you're not going to go through 7 generations later and tell me there's a white baby. No, they changed the man seed. They found out medical mean alchemy. Google this, look it up. I thought Full Metal Alchemist, if you watch anime, it was fake. Full Metal Alchemist, this philosopher's stone, was real. Back in the days of Napoleon Dynamite, they was trying to create this philosopher's stone to create human life. That's why it's people that study, they think that people are being cloned because they found a thing called transmutation. That is real. I thought they clone dogs through these transmutations. They're starting to make body parts on people's bodies. I seen the picture, and you can say, "Oh, that's fake" or whatever. We can say it's fake, but every time we call a lot of things fake, it take a while for it to be implemented to society. Everything is being done now. The New World Order. That's why they needed to biblical. They need it's okay. Sorry, I didn't get to the understanding. Christianization is the form of mass. Think about it. Propaganda. Mass propaganda to tell everybody this is how you should and think. You should think, this is how you should talk, this is how you should walk. That's all it is, Christianization. Because it starts from if you think about the church, I don't say churches because it's a church, because it's one church, the Vatican Church, the church of all churches, the church. They all are based off the church. Look up what church really means. You got to really understand that everything has a meaning. And and I keep a woman that I'm talking to as associate keep telling me that I don't need to define everything, but I told her there's a lot of things you should define, because you define perfect as you still have flaws and faults. But who created those flaws and faults? The people we gave homage to, the people that was killing your mother and father the generations ago, their mother, father, 5, 6 generations. So imagine 6 generations ago, if you came from the slave people that was enslaved, what you think is going to happen now? People keep saying we 50. We got to remember the Title IX started giving, it was for white women in the first place. It wasn't even for African descendant women, quote unquote, black women, but it started giving women scholarships in the 90s. We wasn't able to vote to the 60s. So I don't know why we think all of a sudden the Democratic parties and the Republican Party is going to be better. We was in slavery through the Republican Party, through the people, the forefathers, Abraham Lincoln, the same people that so-called emancipated slavery. We was enslaved when their fathers was fathers. So the generational curse didn't end yet. We are still slaves. We still have to understand a lot of these things never ended yet. Until we understand that, we're going to always keep giving homage to evil. And so let me explain this a little bit more, and then I end it in the live. And so if we took a Christianization, then that's when language, look it up, Old Saxon, New Saxon. Remember, English language is a bastard language. It's all the languages. It's from all the conqueror language. You have the New English, Old English, New Saxon, Old Saxon. You have French. You have Latin. You have the Spaniards, the Spanish. You have, and even though a lot of the words are Hebrew and Greek, but Hebrew and Greek is Arabic. And I don't argue with Christians, especially my one friend. He said Hebrew and Greek is the language. I was like, that's the same as Hebrew and Greek is the same. If we really want to use the original language, it's hieroglyphics. And I say hieroglyphics because that means picture words. That's all hieroglyphics is. If our original language was picture words, and we were supposed, and then once we learned that, and we were supposed to read the pictures from right to left. Good morning. Good morning, lovely. And if we were supposed to read the pictures from right to left, why are we reading the words left to right? And as I explained to people, which I asked people to do the little research, if we saying the word God, God is reading from right to left is dog. And if you look up the word dog, dog and other culture is servant, and even in some cases, slaves. So biblically, if you follow a religion, we are slaves. In a religion, it tells us we are slaves and servant. Also, I thought that was very revealing to me, if you want to call it revelation. And in other culture, the word dog means demon. So we're giving homage to evil again. We're giving homage to demons. All this thing, if you, and this is getting knowledge from spirituality. Then once I looked it up, and I thought it was so. For me, my first time, I thought it was so amazing, and I started losing my spirituality. I grew up. I didn't believe in the God as everybody else believed in God, but I didn't believe in how. I still don't trust. I don't know God as other people know the God, because I don't give homage to the evil. We call Adolf Hitler evil. Listen up. We call him evil. Why? Because he killed people. Hold on. But in these biblical laws, we call these great men, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they did so much wrong, but why are we giving them homage? Look up what they really did. See, we talk about the story of Job. His family got killed. Nobody talks about. Think about this. If I was a father and my children was partying, because that's what if you read the Bible, that's what it's telling you. If you read anything about Muhammad too, I don't disclude the Buddha and nothing. I'm not scared, because when I go talk to these people, they try to give. I'm like, I don't give homage to evil. They look at me funny, and then I explain it to them. And then they're like, you strong. Then they try to send their family members or their bigger brothers. And they say, like how Star Wars, you are strong in the Force. No, I am strong in myself. See, within religion, we got to give power to another entity to get power. No, we don't. We are the power. If I'm created, if my father is the seed and he creates me, why do I have to go get power from my father? Come on, we got to really, and people say, I don't want to talk about religion. Why not? You want to be a slave your whole life. And that's how I look at it. And people say, I'm not arguing with you. I'm challenging you and I'm asking you questions. Even in all these religions, they say, don't be too zealous. Don't be over. Don't do too much. Don't brag. Why not? Don't be proud. Don't do all of these things. But can't our entity hate? Can't our entity have abominations? So why can I be as my father? Just think about this. Think about it. My father can hate, but I can't hate. My father can destroy a whole land, but I can't defend when somebody coming in to bomb me, and I can't deflect the bomb back and blow them up. No, you're not about to hurt me. So you coming to hurt my family. Hold on. Let's peep game. Let's listen to the slavery. Let's listen to our chained minds, our imprisoned mind. Somebody is beating on me, and I can't defend myself. And if I do, and if it causes death, I am wrong. Somebody can call me a nigger all day, but when I respond, I am wrong. That's peep game. We giving homage to the evil. Come on. Evil can be evil all day, but good got to stay good. But it's only good if good is meek and humble and quiet like a sheep. So the sheep don't even know that he got to run from the wolf anymore. They did an experiment. They made the zebra so docile. That's what sheep are. The lions and wolves are the lions and wolves, the coyotes. The evil is attacking the good, but we're not defending ourselves because we're looking for a pastor who's not there because the pastor is part of the evil. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's get into this. Let's get into this dialogue because you cannot tell me that these evils is telling me, a good man that grew up good my whole life, I wasn't hurting women, I wasn't beating women, I wasn't hurting men, I wasn't beating men. So you telling me I'm gonna listen to a man that willingly had the same ability as me not to hurt people that hurt people, then tell me there's something wrong with me? Come on now. What I say unto one, I say unto all. It's your path, it's your journey, it's your choice. Choose wisely. Start making better decisions in your life. Start questioning everything. If you don't if you think it's okay to tell me I'm gonna listen to a man that raped little girls, that if how we know that human sex trafficking is $1 billion business, and how come, listen to this, human sex trafficking is $1 billion business, and there are starving children all over the world. Yeah, this is a great world. There's children that's starving. There's malnutrition children that don't get the right nutrition. There's starving children. But those we know just think about that. The same people that give us the news only produce bad quote unquote black imagery. When was the last time you cut on the actual television, the movies that we seen imagery of African descendant people, a conglomerate? Even I don't care about the Tyler Perry, the they make great movies. The Stan's little midget black dude, Spike Lee. When did they ever produce and say we're going to stand forward and we're going to only show black men loving black women? Black women showing black women that's not angry, black women that enjoy other music besides rap music and hip hop. Show black men that's not sagging, black men that's not selling drugs in a movie. We are not gang affiliated. That I grew up in the projects, and we are not part of the project. We're not a hood. We're not a hoodlum. We're not a gangster. We're not a thug. When are we going to open our eyes and say F them and we going to produce it? They don't want it, and we don't want it either. They made Black Wall Street, they destroyed it. You know how we have no black leaders? Because we didn't elect and select one. We're selecting a dumb president. We chose a rich man to be a president. That was real bright. That was real smart of people. Yeah, a rich man, and he was white. That's why he won. If we don't start saying the truth, our children won't know the truth. And if I walk around outside and ask these young men and women about history, they don't know nothing about their history. When you go to school, you read history and social study. What you see, white people fighting wars, and we don't talk about that. You see white men right now committing suicide. They're killing themselves and their family. And then black women talking about, I'm going to date white men. I'm going to date out my race. Well, the same dudes that's hurting black men is the same dudes you living with. So if if the man is the head of the household, and as a black woman, she marry a white man or any other race of man that enslaved her own people 5 generations ago, that's not too long ago. We just started voting. Remember, there was black and white doors we went through, and you want to say, well, he hurt me, this black man hurt me. Well, you don't care about the white man hurting your black man. You don't care in quote unquote black, and then the reverse. The black man don't care about him hurting the same people that hurt us. You about to have children with. That's called docile. They about to make us slaves again. I have problems saying the word CHATTEL. I know I'm talking fast because I don't want to make my videos 8 hours long, because I have a lot to say, and that I have gotten through revelation and through research. But we don't talk about it. We like to talk a certain way. See, I don't talk a certain way. Mine is raw and to the point. I don't have to be set up. It don't have to be a PowerPoint. But we got to start speaking the truth. Nobody's speaking the truth anymore. These same men, if you under contract, of course Shannon Sharp, of course Ray Lewis, Nick Cannon, KRS-One, the Drakes and all of them gonna do what they're do. We're not supposed to. If you look at any works from our past ancestors, they told us not to never follow celebrities. But we are looking at them. We're looking at the Nicki Minaj, Cardi B's. Well, Sarah Bartman had a big booty. They gave her all these diseases. See, nobody knows that. You ask a young black lady with a breast, a booty implant, they won't know that. They injecting their lips with collagen, like Angela Jolene. They talk about, oh, her lips are so beautiful. Well, black women always had big, beautiful lips and the nice round noses. What we talking about? We had them pretty brown eyes. Yes, they come in different colors. We've been had that. What they talking about? When did that? We took on the westernization society culture of what beauty standard is. And there's some beautiful chocolate women. Then there's some women that's not. We had to come to realization. Like, I've been told I was ugly. I'm not gonna get mad at the woman or I'm not as attractive. We gotta come to truth. All I'm gonna do is speak the truth. I was told I'm not. I'm saying I'm a little cold hearted sometimes. But when I talk to people, black women hate me. Black women don't. Well. Told me the black woman told me I sounded cold hearted to her. I should take that into to some realization that, okay, maybe that has some truth. I'm not as attractive. Maybe I have to approach her a different way. I'm not as attractive as even though he's community penis, a Chris Brown or a Drake. I'm not as attractive. I'm not. I have to come at it. I gotta have a different approach when I approach a woman. I gotta talk to her a different way. What's wrong with that? That's what competition is. All we doing in competition is is strengthening each other. If you want to play on the same team, if you all superstars, why all superstars want to play on the same team? You're not getting strengthened. You're weakening yourself. And then what you're gonna do is diss the one guy on the other team and say that he wasn't. No, you ain't live up to the dream. Didn't you lose two on that team? It was 5 players on the court at that time that lost that game. It's 12 to 15 players on the team all together for a basketball team. Y'all all lost. If you play in that game, you all lost. Not just one guy. I'm not gonna throw one guy under the bus. So if one black man did wrong, we all did wrong. One black woman do wrong, we all did wrong. Oh, that's not me. I'm not associated with them. Oh, but when black is being greatly spoke upon, you want to be associated to, huh? Yes. And that's the things I talk about. So I hope you have a good day. I know that was a rant, but it's a lot of things we still need to hear. I hope this quote unquote black YouTube start black community building. That's the community and unity. That's the what's given to me spiritually. It's not going to be all fast. I don't have a group of people. A lot of people are not trusting. A lot of people are not caring. You're going to be surprised in this world. And when I want to say to good people, start learning evil way pattern. Start going home a different way. Stop telling everybody your business. Stop planting everything on social media. You're giving them, if you say, my husband or boyfriend beat me, or I'm using drugs, I'm partying every night. When somebody responds, you can't be mad. That's the only presentation you're giving them. If you're not giving nobody another presentation of you, why would the other person think otherwise? You're smoking and drinking it every night. You're not. I don't know what else to view. I don't know. I'm just gonna either be quiet or I'm gonna say, well, that's what you're showing me all day. You're not showing me you happy, you smiling. Show me you on your trips. If you're gonna brag the right way. If you're gonna be proud the right way. There's a right and wrong way to brag and to be proud. There's certain things you say and certain things you do. If you're gonna show your whole life, show your whole life then. Show the good part. Show besides partying. Show them how you save money then. If you got all this 401k and all these houses and cars, but you probably can't do that because that's still fairly new. We got to remember a lot of things generational, even though we have transcendent and generational curses, we don't have no transcendent or generation heritage. This is new. Because remember, we just started saving. They started dociling us, like making us comfortable by giving these jobs. How many of your family own business? How many people in your family is a doctor? If you talk to 10,000 African descendant people, you probably most such assholes only have one doctor. So start thinking about a lot of things we say and do and start making them physical and actually working them out. Write them on paper, think about it, write it down, do some research, and then produce it. So your children, I don't have children, but if you have a child or you have a niece, a nephew, I have them, let them know that it's more to life and stop giving homage to this evil. We give more homage to evil than good. So you have a good day. I know it's winter, so still stay hydrated. And remember to enjoy your life. You have a focus, purpose, mission, and position. Keep building yourself up with good and positive values and morals and ethics. And you have a great day. Shalom.